Hello everybody, welcome back to Trailer Reacts Star Citizen. Last time we looked at the Drake Interplanetary Kraken, the biggest rebranding campaign of 2948. This time we are looking at a ship from a much more reputable dealer, the Anvil Aerospace Valkyrie. Now Anvil is one of the leading military ship designers in Star Citizen. They make great stuff. I love them. And we are looking at the Valkyrie, which in this video we will follow the same template that we followed in the Kraken. We will watch the video through, and then we will either rewatch it or go to specific scenes to showcase different things about this ship while I make a slightly more detailed commentary. But not to waste any more time than absolutely necessary, let's go.
Ask any soldier. They'll tell you that battles aren't won or lost based on weapons or numbers or even hardware. They're won on choices. For over a century, our ships have
Look at those
distinguished themselves
graphics.
in thousands of civilian and military combat operations.
Look at that. That's just beautiful.
To announce another weapon in the arsenal of victory. Get ready for the next generation of warfare with Anvil's Valkyrie dropship. This multi-role weapon platform is designed to get personnel in and out of the hottest combat zones. Featuring 4 powerful rotating thrusters with VTOL capabilities, the Valkyrie is capable of landing with surgical precision to deploy assets. Fitted with a vehicle bay and ramp, you can also efficiently launch ground-based troop transports or reconnaissance vehicles in the field. Each high-performance operator seat features rugged construction with added support to minimize G-force for up to 20 personnel, making sure that your fighting force arrives on site ready to jump into the fray.
Look at that.
Don't think for a second that the Valkyrie can't hold its own in a fight. 2 remote turrets featuring size 3 hardpoints can provide suppressing fire during deployment. 2 additional manned turrets provide even more devastating fire to blur the line between dropship and gunship. In the days of antiquity, the Valkyrie were believed to choose which warriors may die in battle and which may live. With Anvil's Valkyrie, we put that choice in your hands.
Okay, so let's take a second to appreciate the awesomeness that was that trailer. And now let's go back to get a good look at this ship. Okay, so this ship looks a hell of a lot like an upscaled Terrapin, and I'm sure I'll cover the Terrapin in a later video. It is a incredibly heavily armored scout ship from, let me just check. From Anvil. Haha, makes sense. So, this ship is 38 meters long, 20 meters wide, and 9.5 meters tall. As you can see, the manned turrets are ventral and dorsal. Weapons are at the end of the wings. And let's wait for a second and pause when we hit.
Weapon platform is designed to get
boom. Okay, there we go. Manned turret here and up here, hidden by the armor. Unmanned turrets on the ends of the wings. Now, this ship can carry a crew of 5, so I'm assuming pilot, gunner, and flight crew, or maybe loadmaster, and a troop contingent of 20, which is pretty damn impressive. I believe the hoplite can only carry, I want to say, 6 or 8 at most, and the Prowler, which is the stealth dropship, can carry 14. So 20 is pretty damned impressive. Now, as far as the looks of this ship goes, the first thing that popped into my head was the Pelican from Halo.
Now in and out
Especially
making sure
looking
your
at
fighting
this.
force arrives on site
I mean,
ready
just
to
look at
charge
that.
into
Doesn't
the
that
fray.
make you think of Marines or
Don't think.
ODSTs deploying out of a Pelican dropship in Halo? Because I get that. I really do get that feeling. Maybe I'm just a massive Halo nerd, which I have a right to be. That was my first introduction to science fiction when I was off like, oh, I don't know, I want to say like 8. Was I 8 years old? I don't even remember. It was a long bloody time ago. But the second thing that popped into my head was that ugly ass dropship from was it Avatar? On Pandora, the giant ship that the bad guys use. So maybe not the nicest, cheeriest comparisons to draw, but that's what there was. And I was talking to my friend Deathlore over on Warped Gamer, who runs Warped Gamer's channel, and we were talking about the armaments on this, and he was a little concerned about the fact that the armaments are size 3, comparing them to the Hammerhead gunships, 24 size 4 cannons, and his concern was that this ship is pretty defenseless, really, if fighters come after it. That a size 3 cannon, even 4 turrets, is not really going to be a very powerful incentive to leave this giant turtle alone. But as I pointed out, this is not a ship that you want to deploy without fighter support, because the weapons on this thing, with the exception of that dorsal turret, they've got a single mission, and that mission is to make life miserable for anyone on the ground who might try and stop these troops from deploying. As with most dropships, I mean, think about the Lambda class in Star Wars lore. The ship encyclopedia makes it very evident from the beginning that Imperial dropships and even the LAAT gunships of the Republic, these dropships, their armaments were intended to ensure that the troops had a safe zone to deploy in. So really, I think this ship is pretty damn near perfect, and it's joining a lineup of dropships that really is quite respectable, where we now have specific roles for 3 ships. We have the Valkyrie, which is the heaviest of the dropships, with the thickest armor, the most weapons. It's going to be the slowest, but this is the ship when your balls are to the wall and you need to deploy a large contingent of troops into a hotly contested zone and know for certain that they're going to get there. You send in the Valkyrie. If you need to get troops, relatively small numbers of troops somewhere in a hurry, in a ship that can punch through an enemy barricade to get them there, what we in the military call a QRF, a quick reaction force, you send in a Vanguard hoplite. And if you want to get in, maybe board a ship or do a special forces style insertion onto a planet or an asteroid or a moon, you send in the Asperia Prowler, which is the stealth dropship specifically designed so that it gets in, it drops the troops, it gets out, and if it does its job right, you never knew it was there. I'm super excited for the Valkyrie, especially with the news that it is already available in 3.3, which is pretty damned impressive because usually a ship goes on sale and we have to wait potentially for years, to actually get our hands on it. I'm looking at you, fans of the Carrack and the Banu Merchantmen. I feel your pain, and I know that eventually you will get your babies. But until next time, fly safe in the verse, everyone. I'm Z, and this has been Vucari-gaming.